As a young boy, our next honoree realized that his favorite enduring sporting events were inseparable from the voices that brought them to life. He could continue to hear Mel Allen and Red Barber call a game in his mind long after it was over. By the age of 28, that boy was hired by NBC Sports president Don Ohlmeyer, who insisted he looked like a 14-year-old. Well, he may have looked like a child, but Bob Costas was an old soul who was destined to become one of the greatest sportscasters of all time. And 4 decades later, he is on instant replay in the minds of millions of fans. Baseball fans no doubt hear echoes of Costas doing play-by-play of a favorite World Series game or one of 10 NBA finals that he called. Maybe you remember him hosting one of 7 Super Bowls or 12 Olympic Games. 12! Including the London Olympics that had a record-breaking 217 million viewers. Is it even an Olympics if it's not for Costas' soundtrack? I don't think so. And of course, there were Triple Crown horse races and U.S. Open golf championships as well. You see, Bob is kind of like a decathlon champion in broadcasting. He's covered every major sport with distinction. He's got encyclopedic knowledge that sprints at record speed and versatility that establishes him as one of his generation's, perhaps of all time, distinctive voices. He's now an on-air contributor at CNN, where he's providing commentary and perspective on a wide-ranging set of sports issues. He's also returned to HBO with a show called Back on the Record. Still true to his first love, though, of baseball, the man who to this day still keeps a Mickey Mantle card in his pocket can be seen on the MLB Network. In addition, he just hosted the National League Championship Series on TBS. He is the only sportscaster to have won 29 Emmys, and his peers name him the National Sportscaster of the Year, a record 8 times. He's been inducted already into Sportscaster and Baseball Hall of Fames. So how fitting is it that that boy who grew up listening to Mel Allen and Red Barber now joins them on our distinguished roster of giants of broadcasting? Congratulations to the legendary Bob Costas.
Hello from the Major League Baseball Network studio 24/7. Full disclosure, I'm in my house. This has served as my home studio for baseball-related programming during COVID, and today at least it provides a bit of a broadcasting motif. Let me begin by saying how much I appreciate being among not just this year's impressive list of awardees, but those who have received the Giants of Broadcasting Award in the past. They are people of extraordinary achievement who have made significant contributions to the history of broadcasting, and it's humbling to be listed among them. This year's honorees, as a matter of fact, include 2 past colleagues of mine. Robin Roberts, who was so tremendous as a sports broadcaster and then left all of that and most of us behind to become a true contemporary giant of broadcasting. And my friend Neil Shapiro, who for many years ran NBC News and with whom I collaborated on many news magazine pieces in the 1990s, and its work of which I remain proud. You know, it's difficult to assess your own career, especially in a virtual setting, but I would say this: if I'm going to be remembered at all for whatever modest achievements I may have managed, I would say this: my career has had a texture to it. At least I'd like to think so. Even within sports, I did a wide variety of sports, yes, but within those assignments, I filled a variety of roles. I was a reporter, an interviewer, a commentator, at times I'd like to think a journalist, a play-by-play man, an essayist, an anchor, or host. And I was lucky enough to do things outside sports as well, and I'll always be grateful to Dick Ebersol and Brandon Tartikoff for convincing me that I could do a non-sports show, an in-depth late-night interview show, and later with Bob Costas remains one of the proudest chapters of my career. I have great respect and admiration for my sports broadcasting colleagues. If there is one thing that perhaps in part distinguishes me among them, it's that my sensibility was one that included journalism, I embraced all of the drama and the theater and the shared experience and enjoyment and all the happiness that sports brings people. I believed in that, and I hope I did a good job of presenting it. But I also believed that somewhere within that coverage, there had to be a place for journalism. There had to be a place for legitimate and timely commentary and for an acknowledgement of the elephants in the room. And I hope that over time, doing that, even if occasionally it put me in a position of some controversy, that doing that in the big picture provided credibility and won the trust of the audience. In any case, I want to reiterate how appreciative I am to be included among such accomplished people, both today and in the past, in receiving with great gratitude the Giant of Broadcasting Award. Thanks to you all very much.